Alright, 6 o'clock, I'd like to welcome everyone. Alright, you join the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Call.
All right, here you are. Here. Leah Rulo.
Here.
Chris Rich. Here. Bonnie Holstein.
Here.
Katie Grubarczyk.
Here.
Paul Grubarczyk is here. Reggie.
You can, but you and your fun.
I'm going to.
You're gonna anyway. Alright, now I'm gonna beat him to it. Softball team. I guess we got some warm weather and our sports teams are out there and everything's off and running, so. Any additions, deletions, and changes to the agenda? Seeing none. Motion?
I move to accept the agenda as written.
Motion support. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Community comments on the agenda. All right, communications, Jeff Walczak.
Thank you, President Doobie. I'm sure you've seen the information on the 110 walkout, and our student rep and Dr. Brown may even talk about it a little bit, but I just wanted to thank them for organizing it. It was a great event working with the CAN Council, where all of the students walked out from the school to represent the 1 in 10 students or children under 18 that are abused. Nice being on TV5 for a good reason. So I just wanted to thank them for the administrators for their work in making that happen. And the part that was probably the best, 700 kids out there, and when the lady from the CAN Council was talking, it was quiet. I mean, only you could hear our cars going by and birds chirping because they were listening, and not a lot of schools have that luxury of having students that are able to listen for something like that, so it was really nice. I had a kind of like a webinar with our website, the Apogee representatives. They have a new system, a new add-on, of course, it all costs extra money. And I wanted to run it past you. What they described it as is community experience turns your website into a 24/7 front door where families can ask questions and get answers, clicks to the page. You know, sometimes when you open a web page and the little thing pops up, can I help you? And you put in your question, and they now have that. It's, I guess, nice for parents to be able to put something in and it can direct them where to go or answer questions they may have. But it's kind of a cool tool that it will give feedback to us on what people are looking for, what can they not find, things like that, where maybe it can help us update our websites so that parents have a great experience with it. The problem is annual cost of $4,200 and a one-time implementation of $1,050. So I told them we weren't interested at this point due to cost, but I wanted to at least put it on our radar and maybe think about it. And if you're going through some websites and you think you see that same sort of program and think it would be good for us, then it's available for us to have.
Once again?
4,200 annually, and then the one-time implementation, because they would have to put it all together one time, was $1,050. Maintenance crew, I just wanted to thank them for all of their hard work. Now that spring rolls around, they're outside doing a lot with getting games ready. They have bad weather like this weekend, and getting fields ready for practice or games, and we have a great crew. So they always help whenever needed. So just wanted to get that out there to thank them for that. And yes, we are tournament champions for the girls softball, first time in the 12-year history of this tournament. Great atmosphere, great parents, a lot of fun things going on there, and a lot of excitement. So our girls were very happy, and they did a great job. This is testing week. I will leave it up to administrators to talk about anything they may have. My main thing was getting it out there for parents to know that it's good to get a good night's sleep and have a good breakfast on these days, so you're not worried or stressing about things when you're got these high stakes tests to take care of. Survey update. There's a lot of talk about our surveys that are going out right now, which is good. I mean, good or bad, that's what we want. We want people to be taking them and giving us input. And like I said, I've heard both. I've heard from people loving what we're doing. I heard from some people saying that they're not happy that some of their friends aren't grumpy about it and saying they're not going to vote, but also getting a lot of questions. A lot of the questions are things that we don't even have planned yet because we haven't created the plan. We want to see what people want. So if we hear good feedback and we come up with a plan, then a lot of the questions would be answered. One big question that I'm hearing a lot is if we have elementary attached to this building, how do you separate elementary from the secondary kids so they're not, bumping into each other in the halls and those sort of things. So, and that would all be part of the building. What kind of doors do you have that you have to walk through to go to the elementary? So good questions, good things that I have told some staff, send me any questions you may have, because my thought is once we get the survey back and I'm hearing a lot of questions, I do the little tour again and have another round of meetings at the township halls and answer these questions for the people. And I think some people may even be more willing to come to that meeting now that they know that this is real, this is a possibility that's going to happen, and if they have some questions for me. So that's the plan. But yeah, hopefully everyone has seen that. Lydia has been doing a good job of getting the extras out there, because anyone that wanted an extra one, let's say there were 3 people voting age in your family, you only get 1 code. But if you call, Lydia can give you more codes. Just has to put your name down, who it is that's getting the code, because no one should have more than 1 chance to take the survey.
Are you getting a lot?
I've given probably 5 separate codes.
Yeah, and that's been 6 days, right?
Yeah.
'Cause it was last week.
I would say like
so
probably
in
like
a day,
10
that's
calls,
not
5
bad.
codes.
Yeah, not too many. So, any questions? All right, that's it for me. Thanks.
All right, young lady.
Alright, hi, I'm Ava, and we have varsity softball. The varsity softball team defeated 5-time reigning champion Garber 8-6 in the Bay County Championship on Saturday. The softball team is currently ranked 8th in the state division in 3. Esports. The Pinconning High School Mario Kart team begins the first round of playoffs on Tuesday, April 14th at 4 p.m. Advanced English Showcase. Students enrolled in Advanced English have been preparing projects for the Literary Showcase, which will take place on Wednesday, April 29th from 4 to 6 p.m. in the high school gym. Parents and community members are invited and encouraged to come and interact with students as they proudly display their work. Awards will be presented at 5:45 across multiple categories. AP Government. Members of the AP Government class have the opportunity to hear oral arguments in front of the Michigan Supreme Court on Wednesday, April 22nd. In addition to hearing oral arguments, students will participate in a question and answer session, as well as attend a reception with the justices. Peer Mentors. The Peer Mentors wrapped up their 10-week prevention program, Too Good for Drugs, with Miss Cartier's class, or 7th grade health class. This weekly program focuses on areas that include goal setting and communication styles. The program also helps to educate students about the impacts to the brain and body when using alcohol, tobacco, marijuana, over-the-counter medications, and prescribed medications and street drugs. The Peer Mentors are currently putting together an anti-bullying presentation and plan on going into classrooms to present to students in both the middle school and high school. Youth Wrestling. The Pinconning Youth Wrestling Club concluded its 2025-26 season with an impressive performance at the MYWAY Girls State Championships in Kalamazoo. 5 wrestlers represented the community and competed among Michigan's best. Leading the way, Mari Thomas earned 5th place at 112 pounds with a 5-2 record. Everest Thomas reached the semifinals and placed 6th at 86 pounds. Haley Haverkamp capped her youth career with a 5th place finish at 158 pounds after a standout season that included multiple state titles. Hannah Haverkamp placed 4th in the upper division at 205 pounds, continuing her success across youth and high school competition. Allure 4 added another state victory, continuing to build on her contributions to the program. And that's all we have.
All right, administrative staff. John, you got anything?
Central Elementary will begin their MSTEP testing the week of April, actually 27th, but April 28th. I think we get done on May 5. That's our plan anyway. Yeah, that's where we're at, where we're going now.
Okay.
How
Sarah?
wet's your playground, John? In it?
Not nearly as wet as it used to.
Good.
No, seriously, not.
That's why I asked.
Yeah, it is, it used to be a sponge. 3 years ago, we'd have never been able to go out. So we're able to do that. It drains real well. I don't know where it goes, but. Yeah, but it is.
All the way down.
Yeah, that was money very well spent, believe me.
I'm gonna do our students of the month first for high school. We have freshman Isaac Grauer, and he was nominated by Mrs. Callard. And she says that Isaac is very passionate about creating music in our music technology class. He puts clear thought and effort into the music he creates and is eager to receive feedback on his work. I'm very proud of his creativity and willingness to try new things. And I personally am extremely proud of him. He's come a long way this year, and he was excited every single day, wanting to know what teachers nominated him. It was fun. So the kids do pay attention, which is awesome. We have our sophomore is Matt Hartfelder, and he was nominated by Mrs. Hubert. And she says that Matt is a focused, reliable student who consistently turns in great work. Though he is on the quieter side, he stays engaged in class and always puts in the effort to ensure his assignments are done well and on time. Our 11th grade student and overall winner is Violet DePeel, and she was nominated by Mr. Palmville. And he says that Violet is involved in numerous extracurricular clubs. She's a straight A student. Violet is an amazing artist and donated days to painting murals for the school. And finally, she has a terrific personality. And our senior is Kaylee Doak, and she was nominated by Mr. Prime. And he says that beyond being a great student to have as a teacher, Kaylee has been working very hard in submitting quality work in senior project. She has been struggling with a stressful senior year so far, but I'm so proud of the effort and successes that she has been having in this class, which can be very stressful on all the seniors. Making life-changing decisions is daunting for anyone, but even more so for a 17, 18-year-old. She has taken on this task wholeheartedly and couldn't be more proud of her. I wanted to thank everyone, especially our teachers and students, for the 110 walkout on Friday. We've been working closely with CAN Council and Sharon Norman now for a couple of years. I've worked with her for quite a long time before that as well. And she presented this to me probably the week before we went on spring break, and I definitely wanted to capitalize on that for our students. We've been talking about this for years, just our student body, that, when they say 1 in 10, they absolutely mean that, and that number is probably higher in some of our smaller communities that are really impacted by child abuse before the age of 18. So I thought it was really important that we participated in that and partnered together. And it really just hit home how amazing our students are here. They walked out very respectfully, super organized. Teachers, same thing, and all quieted down in order for Mrs. Norman to speak to them. I was able to address them as well. So just super successful overall. It's nice to have the solidarity that we have, and a good reminder of what amazing people we have here. So thanking everyone for that. Our literary showcase, as Ava said as well, is April 29th. Wanted to extend an invitation to our board members to come see what our students are doing. It's so neat to be able to recognize the academic side of things. We see the athletics and band and things that are more kind of in your face on a regular basis. And Mrs. Hubert brought this to Mrs. Hyme and myself about doing a showcase. I think she had seen maybe at a conference and wanted to do this to showcase our advanced English students, and they are doing such a good job with this. It's super fun. So neat. I'm excited to see what they have in store and what they're doing. And this is all on their own. This is not a part of a novel study in their class. This is something they've done independently outside of school and their schoolwork that they're going to be presenting. So that's all independent work, which is pretty awesome for that. So thank you, Mrs. Hubert, for that. And then we start state testing Wednesday. and we hit the ground running. We've got 3 days in a row this week, and then next week we wrap up with middle school M-Step, and then we'll have makeups in there, and then shortly after that, AP testing, and then graduation. So it is a sprint to the end. So that's where we're at.
There, what time on the 29th?
I believe it starts at 5.
Okay.
Yep. And we'll run like, until,
The literary showcase
yeah,
is from 4 to 6.
4 to 6. Right in the middle. I hope prime time.
You'll see something.
Yeah.
All right, Tim?
Yes. Middle school students of the month for the month of March. For 6th grade, Brody Haga. He was nominated by Mrs. Hubert. She says Brody is a standout student who consistently demonstrates a deep commitment to his learning through active participation and attentive listening. His work ethic is truly impressive. He approaches every task with maximum effort and is remarkably reliable in submitting high-quality assignments on time. 7th grade winner, and she's also the overall middle school winner, is Sydney Schmidt. She was nominated by Mr. Sheeran. He says she is an emerging leader who empowers others and sets an example of excellence and cooperation. An 8th grade winner is Xavier Fabera, nominated by Mrs. Maxwell. She says Xavier is doing a great job in our 8th grade high school level algebra class. He doesn't hesitate to participate in class discussion and asks good questions. He works hard and turns in very detailed and neat work. He has earned 98 to 100% on all his tests and quizzes first marking period. Keep up the good work. He's just a fun kid too, overall. A couple things I wanted to mention. Megan Shireen will be competing in the National Civics Bee. She's the only middle school student, but one of our own that will be competing on Thursday, April 23rd at 5:30 at SVSU. So stay tuned on those results. And then 8th grade graduation will be Tuesday, May 26th, starting at 5 o'clock at the Cheese House once again. And then finishing here at school with a dance in the middle school gym. That's it.
So we're gonna start our M-Step next week, and we'll go over, take about 3 weeks to do it, just one day here and there. We've got lots of other things planned. But we'll have that done, and then it'll lead us right into our fast bridge testing for elementary. The window opens the end of April till May 22nd. So from now to the end of the year, lots of testing for our kiddos. But also some fun sprinkled in, of course. On Thursday, April 30th at 5 o'clock, we're hosting a family night. We're going to have some math games for the kids to play with their parents, some take-home math games, and then also a book fair night. And then mark your calendars for Thursday, May 21st. I know it's a ways away, but at 1:30, we'll be having our annual Memorial Day program. So Thursday at 1:30, we're all invited to come. Thursday, May 21st, 1:30. And we do have John's Water, I think. The swings and the playgrounds. Cool. Yeah. The water is lowering.
All right, okay. Anything from the kitchen? And yours?
Yep. We met today, extracurricular meeting. Everybody was there, and we had a visitor, Jason. And that kicked it off, and then he exited after that. He reviewed the email he sent us. And there's some options we could go over, and we might see something on that in the future. Talk about postseason participation. We have some athletes that don't finish the season, choose not to finish going to districts or regionals or states, and they still get rewarded for that. And so we're talking about adding something to the policy for, hey, make sure you're finished year and you'll earn your letter or whatever that may be. So talking about adding some of that. Also in the middle school, the participation requirements, really nothing there. They're piggybacking off the high school requirements. So they're going to be looking forward to adding something there for middle school participation. Truancy rules, a little bit different there because it's fine if a student doesn't come to school, they don't participate in the game. But nothing really solid there on practices, right? So we're looking at adding some policy there to go along with it. Also looking to track it through final forms where the coach can go in and say that the student was at practice, and we could track that through there.
A big problem is that we have truant students that play the game and are at school on the day of the game, and maybe even the next morning when they have to be there, but then throughout the week, teachers don't see them. And they're saying, how is a student able, if it's even a sport like golf where they miss during the day, you know, they haven't been in school for 3 days and now the fourth day they go on their golf meet. So just looking at figuring out a way to, and also the athletic director is not at every practice to see who's there and taking attendance.
Right.
So if you were absent from school today, are you at practice, and looking at some ways of tracking that,
Right.
like you said, so.
Nicole was there, and she was talking about using final forms and have the coaches log through final forms, which is good, I think, a good idea. Triple Crown winner, we're gonna add letter to the policy, so they have to get their letter, which would be at the coach's discretion, but they have to, be actively involved in that sport, play minutes, score goals, score points, something like that. But basically, the coach has to say, hey, they earned their letter to be able to earn that Triple Crown status at the end of the year, which I know some athletes really look forward to. But they should at least earn their letter for that. So we're going to add that into the policy there. So you'll see that come down. And we talked about club sports. Last thing we talked about was club sports. Needing some guidance there because they're not official varsity sports. They don't fall under some of the rules, and we need some guidance there in those club sports. Rules, regulations, a little bit more organization, that type of thing. So that'll become a thing. Okay.
Policy changes. That's what it is.
Anything from, that wasn't on the committee?
Well, I got something. Did you talk about coaching or training the coaches about anything along those lines?
Yes, we added that. It was kind of like an end thing. We were short on time to get out here, but we were talking to Mr. Floyd and Nicole about the handbook. They're going to pull up the handbook, go over it a little bit more for the coach's handbook.
Because we do have a coach's handbook, but
There is a coach's handbook.
there are some aspects that we struggle with getting all of the coaches on board, like the communication, using their own apps instead of using our final forms or rooms that we paid for everybody.
Right.
So there are some things that, where we.
That was probably the last 10 minutes or so. We talked about that. Focus on coaches.
Yeah.
Well, I've been hearing from parents about the coaches and the things that are being done and not done. So, there's concerns about just training them to understand what's programmed.
And I hope that if you do hear those things, that you listen for sure, but also tell them, have you talked to Mr. Floyd, because he's the one. Yeah, and I know most of us would, but that shouldn't be on your shoulders as a board member. I mean, they can tell you all they need to, but make sure they talk to Mr. Floyd, who is able to make some changes and see what's going on.
On to the consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll support.
Okay, motion support. Yep, roll call.
Katie Grubarczyk,
Yes.
Gary Yaros,
Yes.
Leah Rulo,
Yes.
Chris Ravish,
Yes.
Bonnie Holstein,
Yes.
Paul Grubarczyk, yes, Brad Juby.
Yes. And on to the non-consent agenda. A food service contract.
Move to approve food service management contract with Chartwells as presented.
Support.
Or any discussion? Okay, roll call.
Bonnie Holstein,
Yes.
Gary Yaros,
Yes.
Leah Rulo,
Yes.
Chris Ravish,
Yes.
Katie Grubarczyk,
Yes.
Paul Grubarczyk is yes, Brad Juby.
Yes. Okay. Public comments. We have any public comments? Seeing none. Board have any discussion items? Discussion? Okay, seeing none, then I need a motion. Move to adjourn. Motion, sports, discussion on that? Not. All in favor? Opposed?
Because you don't need.